I'm realizing it's not about being in a good mood. It's about just being, right? It's just funny. I'm in a funky mood. But we are human beings. We're not human beings in a good mood, you know? What kind of creature are you? Oh, I'm a human being in a good mood. No, I'm a human being, dot. So I guess the point is to embody the being of whatever that state that you are now fully, right? Because again, you're not a human being in a good mood, you're a human being. So if you're sad, be that sadness. If you're happy, be that happiness. But don't chase it, right? And I guess it's a little cheesy to say because everyone says it. But I feel once it kind of clocks you into your, kind of knocks on your brain and you actually realize what it means, and you actually realize what it means for you, then it takes on a whole different meaning, right? And it really is starting to feel like, for me personally, in my experience, that when you embody, when you actually like understand this concept of the human being and this vessel that you inhabit, it really changes the whole worrying about, for me, one of my issues is, and was or is, doesn't matter, is like this need to be perfect. And this need to always embody some kind of smile on my face, some kind of good mood. But when you think about the human being, you kind of enter an atmosphere of you don't really need to be anything because you're already a human being. Like you already are everything that you need to be. And in my mind, my ego or whatever, telling me, really, bitch, like, why are you so boring? I'm so crazy. Anyway, why are you so boring right now? Why are you expressing truths that, you know, you've heard all around? But it's because I'm realizing them for myself. Because I guess, what do I guess? What was my thought? Yeah, what I had noticed in my experience of being a human was that, you know, my uncle told me this sentence once in a letter for my 18th birthday, I think, or 16th, 18th.
Yeah, I haven't been so crazy in a while. This is funny.
So he told me something like, don't attach yourself to the good and don't attach yourself to the bad, in the sense that when you feel sad, it's gonna pass, and when you feel good, it's gonna pass too. And I used to kind of beat myself up spiritually when I would feel so good and so joyful that it felt like nothing could ever like come between me and my joy, and I would never feel bad again. And when I would feel so terrible and sad that nothing could come between me and my sadness, and I would never feel joy again. Now I'm obviously I've progressed quite exponentially, but I don't, apparently it's not good to stand here. Anyway, there is a kind of well-being in the sadness as well, because you know it's meant to be there, you know? So the task is really to be within the thing that you're feeling now, fully in it, so that it can become something else. It's very much in the same energy of sitting with your feelings so that you can integrate them. Actually, it's the same thing I'm saying, just in different words. But at the same time, another thought comes to me about this. God. And it's not associating yourself with the emotions. Not because you're an actor, right? And the life is your script. And I think the more you associate with that script, the more you deal with the drama, and the more you're gonna get stuck on that, like, I guess, the timeline. So I think it's taking things a little bit playfully. And there's always this issue of, not always, I want to be aware of when I use that word. There is often the issue of it being harder to do than to say. So easier to talk about it than to actually embody this truth of saying, just be fully in whatever it is you're feeling now. It's easy to say that when you're feeling more or less neutral, right? So I guess I'll get back to you when I'm feeling closer to negativity. Honestly, it's an endless conversation we can have, or I can have with myself. It really is. I can't stop staring at how frizzy my hair is. Today I cleaned my space and I played Reiki space home clearing for 5 hours, and it feels so peaceful in here. And I'm now having a snack. Apples with peanut butter and some grapes. So that's really healthy. I'm just checking in with you about my human beingness, you know? Oops. What does ASMR stand for? See, I'm curious. Autonomous sensory meridian response. A term used to describe a tingling, static-like, or goosebumps sensation in response to specific triggering audio or visual stimuli. Oh. It's a response. It's not the actual act. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Oh my god. I was just checking in to tell you I'm still not sad. I wanted to say, but it's coming because, you know, it's inevitable. That's when I ask myself, is it really inevitable to feel sad? My question is not whether it's possible to never feel sadness. My question is it inevitable to feel sad? Is it really inevitable? Oh my god, someone's cooking barbecue and it smells really good. I think it's not true that it's inevitable to be sad. I'm doing this because I don't want to just blab on about being in the feeling fully. Oh my god. There was a hair in the peanut butter. I hope it's mine. I don't want to just blab about it. I want to do it live. And maybe like the fact that it's live like recording. смывается, судьба обновляется. Volare, cantare, oh, nel blu dipinto di blu. Oh my god, it's so nice outside. So, I still didn't get sad. Although I've lived almost 24 hours in my neutrality. This woman and her neutrality did not know what was about to take place that very same day. No, she didn't. Am I more than neutrality? No, that's the thing. You see, the way of thinking that something is more or less. Thinking that joy is more than neutrality.
No.
I don't think I'll post this. I was just talking about something that I started doing again. This is such a tease. And then I decided I won't include it in the video because I've been living in this kind of truth that I don't like to talk about my projects or things I started to do to like vocalize them. I like to keep them for myself because I feel like by talking about them you kind of sprecare, how do you say, waste the energies you could spend doing that new thing you're doing. Well, you waste them blabbing on about it, and then you blab on about them and you get the kind of satisfaction, quote unquote. If you tell someone, they'll be like, oh, that's so good, and you have this appreciation from someone else and it kind of fills your cup, so you're susceptible to not doing it anymore to fill your own cup because your cup is already filled with that appreciation that comes from someone else. But that appreciation filling your cup is not your appreciation. It comes from the outside. So at the end of the day, no matter how good it feels, and if you give up that thing, you're gonna feel shit. You're gonna feel like you betrayed yourself in a kind of way. I mean, that's like how it is for me. And I think as humans, we have these archetypical emotions we go through, right? It's just that everyone goes through them differently. This angle is not good. I need to, when there's not many people around, I'm okay with filming myself like that. But when there's someone around me, I can't. Not yet. Well, it made sense that sooner rather than later there would be a little hiccup. But it's okay, I'm taking action through it. I'm thinking of the solutions. I'm not digging myself up into a hole. Does that make sense? I'm not succumbing to the desires and the thinking patterns that I succumb to for most of my life. There's definitely, it's harder to take action within the discomfort rather than to talk about potential discomfort and taking action. while you're feeling far from the discomfort. But it's interesting to observe how as soon as there is something, and I'm not gonna blabber on about what the situation is. It's not what the point is. As soon as there is something, there is this tendency to want to run away from it. And for me, it's like everything else cancels out. Not cancels out, but becomes darkened by this moment, you know? But I know it's not real. It's not real. It's just that my brain is extremely dramatic. I don't think I'm the only one. It's funny how right when the experiment comes to fruition, there is a sense of it being pointless because it's harder than when you say that it's hard. You know what I mean? Some issues came up. I took action, but felt really uncomfortable, and yet I'm still here filming this video, no matter how pointless it feels. Can you see the energy difference in how I was waiting for the moment in pure joy, vs how I am in this moment? It's an idealization of the process that doesn't translate when you're actually in the process of being human. But I guess all that matters is that I'm still here and sharing the confusion, because I think none of us have it clear. Actually, I think it's very possible to have it clear. It's actually the normality that is possible to be embodied. So I don't really agree with myself here. Everyone has a blind spot, and I think everyone pretends to be so clear about everything, or rather we perceive everyone to be so clear about everything. But it's really not like that. It really isn't. So
doesn't matter how many times you fall as long as you get back up, right?
That cheesy sentence, that's actually true. So once again, I get back up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I fumbled, I stumbled, I numbed myself, I had a nothing day. I asked myself why I'm filming this video. I realized I might have gotten a little discouraged, but I just also realized that getting discouraged and going through the process of numbing and feeling the emotions not in the way that you would have expected yourself to feel them is not, it doesn't mean you're not focused on yourself. You're actually even more on the journey, you know? You're even more dedicated to yourself than what you think you are. You know, it's like the reason you're taking things so seriously, and when I say you, I'm talking to me, but I'm sure I'm not the only one to go through this. The reason why you're taking things so seriously is because you care deeply about yourself and you see the best possible outcome for yourself. And so I'm focused on myself. And that's gonna take so many shapes and forms, that focus. It's gonna take so many shapes and forms that I am not aware. I don't know those shapes and forms. I am aware of some of them, but not all. It's like the sea, what is it, 90% of the ocean that's not explored. I feel like in this case, I am the ocean. And making it hard for myself because I couldn't go through my emotions with humor is just like finding a really cool fish in the deep, dark depths of the ocean, if we were to explore the parts that we didn't explore yet, and being like, what is that? I didn't expect to find that here. No, you wouldn't react like that. You would react like, wow. Even if it's a monstrosity, you know, it's like, whoa, I've never seen this before. I'm just thinking about how it's easier to talk about this when I'm out of the direct emotion. But fuck this. I'm so honestly sometimes way too critical about my emotions. Like, oh my fucking god. So this is the conclusion. Don't judge the deep sea creatures. Be mesmerized. Yeah. Tomorrow is a new day. I guess that through this video, I realized that working on yourself and focusing on yourself is like building yourself, right? And the imagery, because what helps me a lot is thinking a lot in imageries. And the imagery would be, I saw this kind of building a pyramid out of cement blocks, right? Out of whatever kind of material. But I saw rocks. And you use the cement to stick the rocks together, and the cement in this case would be the focus to yourself, right? The work you put in, the actions you take. But maybe you didn't use the right amount of cement, you didn't use the right ratio of water to cement, you didn't use the right powder that fixated, whatever, and the blocks fall apart. A builder is not gonna leave the blocks just laying there, you know, and then cry about it. He might cry about it, but he's just gonna get up, research ways to make the cement better and build it back up again. And then maybe the next time it falls, like maybe just a couple blocks fall, or it only falls halfway, when the earlier fall was like it fell apart completely and he had to start all over again. Although if it fell apart, you probably need to start everything over again because the cement is faulty every time. But this is where my overthinking comes in. And maybe the second time around, things are not going to fall apart as much. Maybe the second time around, only the top 2 blocks fall. You only have to deal with that. Maybe the third time around, you get I was going to say a scar. What's the building scar? A fissure. I don't know how to call it. And so that's my journey. That's how I see it. It's a little bit dramatic, but I'm just gonna embrace it the way it is and remember the truth, I guess.